facilitator, since they had already stated their positions and we felt there should be someone neutral there, and they refused to do that and told us that they would be the facilitator. And that didn't seem right to us, so we chose not to be until such time as we had an unbiased facilitator.
Excuse me, can I make a request? There's a fan right over my head and there's no speakers up here. If you could get as close to the mic as possible so we can hear.
I'm sorry, what?
Good morning, my name is Paul Bedford. I'm Director of Production and Facilities at Mad Cow Theater. I want to speak on behalf, I'm new there, and I've been there since middle of July. I can't speak on what has happened in the past. I know there's a large organization with complaints and grudges against what has happened in the past. But currently, in the months that I've been there and going forward, there's many new successes, there's many new procedures that are in place, and I feel comfortable. It is a wonderful working environment. It is very supportive. Also, the attacks that are going to the theater, I feel this is our grudges. They're situations that happened in the past. I have been recently laid off from Disney. I have a daughter in college. I have another one in high school getting ready to go into college in 2 weeks. I resent people trying to shut down a business that has to do with my livelihood. Thank you very much.
Eric Paul, then Susan Rivera and Holly Hill.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Eric Paul. I'm the CEO of Odia Arts Management. We've worked with Mad Cow for the past 2.5 years on the implementation of our box office solution for them. I have to say that during the pandemic, they came to us and were looking for ways to reopen to the public during the pandemic. And we worked very closely with them on the process of implementing several new solutions, including, touchless payment solutions, sorry, I'm a little nervous, a patron safety form that people would fill out beforehand that would automatically do contact tracing for them, as well as some other solutions. They actually helped us to help our other organizations that use the software, and without them, we wouldn't have been able to push that forward, so I thank them for that.
Buenos dias, good morning, and thank you for being here and all the work you do for us. My name is Susie Rivera, and I want to say a couple of things about myself and Mad Cow. First, I am a woman. Second, I am Hispanic. I have been able to perform in Spanish. I have been able to perform in English, doing roles that are not stereotype cast as a Latina. I have had the privilege to lead the theater to the elderly community who no longer can come to the theater, so we went to them. And finally, I have the joyful trust of help Mad Cow in many, many ways as a board member. So I would like to say that when you grant money to Mad Cow, you are supporting actresses like me. And for that, I really thank you so much. Gracias.
Hi, I'm Holly Hill, and thank you for listening to us. I'm a big fan of Mad Cow. My husband convinced me to move here from Manhattan when we got married, and for years I was depressed about having really no culture. We tried to go to plays. I mean, honestly, we would walk out at intermission. It was pretty bad at that point in time. And then one of my friends decided to act in a piece at Mad Cow, and we saw it and we were blown away. And I was like, there's gotta be a catch. There's no way there's a theater like this in this town. Because we've looked everywhere. So I said, let's go to some more shows. And I mean, by the second show, I knew that this was the real deal. Now, Orlando is a big town, but we aren't known for culture. And wow. I mean, yeah.
No, wow.
we've had a reputation, we're getting better. When I first moved here, there weren't any restaurants. I love this town. And for me, Mad Cow has been one of the reasons. We took my mother-in-law, who was an actress in New York. Okay.
Check your privilege.
She loved it.
Taryn, she's speaking for many people, so the
This is Mitzi, and then Dr. Julius John. Followed by Nina Strike, and then Marlene.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mitzi Maxwell. I'm the Executive Director of Mad Cow Theater. To cut to the chase, we believe that a group wishes to take over our theater space where we have been for almost a decade. Our current location took 10 years of consensus building, along with the grassroots effort of demonstrating excellent quality over many years. It took major fundraising. Mad Cow raised over $2.2 million to renovate the space, including funding from Orange County. My advice to those looking for a space: there are no sweetheart deals. There are no gimmies. It took really hard work by patrons, donors, artists, and community leaders. If you want to do a space, if you want to get a space, do the work.
Dr. Julius John, how is everyone this morning? I just basically wanted to say I have no earthly idea as to what any of this discourse is about. I hear laughter after people's talking. I feel that to be a little, it's making my nerves a little shaky here. I just basically wanted to say that I am the new artistic director for Mad Cow Theater, and we're all about work. And I want to work, and I want to do theater. And I want you, the panel, to know that it's just time to just let's move on. Let's stop looking backwards. Let's move on.
Michael Wanty, Scott Browning, and then Mike Schneider.
I would just like to say that every time this situation arises, there's never been any shortage of people to step forward and say, it's a new day, everything's been fixed, and we're going to trudge forward, and the situation never changes. I would like to make note of one situation. Randy Stevens, when he was the director of the Gay and Lesbian Community Center, entered into an agreement with Mad Cow for a fundraising performance. They sold all the tickets to the show based on the fact that it was a fundraiser for them. Until this day, that 501c3 status charitable organization has not received one dime from Mad Cow.
Hello, thank you for listening. I'm another actor who had to wait months later to get paid after the case, but I'll be reading from somebody else. They say I can't attend, but you can quote me and inscribe my name. I've been a student of the nonprofit sector since 1978. I teach a certificate program in nonprofit organization management in association with Noak Southeastern University, Broward College, and the Florida Association of Nonprofit Organizations for the last 20 years. I have counseled hundreds of nonprofit organizations, some of which are theaters. My professional observation is that Mad Cow has and is not operating in the realm of the best practices. This includes their governing body. It's apparent that they either don't know or ignore the three responsibilities of a board director. It is the responsibility of the director to train the board in the best practices of nonprofit organization governance, and that apparently has not happened. His name is Bob Kovacevic, Principal, Avatar Company. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Mike Schneider. I'm grateful to be able to address you today. I'm speaking on behalf of the Mad Cow Theater. I've been a patron of Mad Cow for 20 years, and it has opened up worlds for me, from the linguistic gymnastics of Tom Stopper to the lyricism of August Wilson to the musical joys of Fats Waller. I don't think there's another theater in Orlando that has provided the diversity of programming as Mad Cow Theater has. And, with my job, I've been offered opportunities to move elsewhere. Whenever that happens, I think, why do I need to? Orlando has developed a wonderful cultural ecosystem over the past 2 decades. And in my book, Mad Cow is at the top of that list. So anyway, I hope Mad Cow can continue to thrive with your support. Thank you.
Chris Foster.
No, he's last. That list is completely out of order. So it's on-
The only name left.
Oh, no, there's an entire list. Nowhere near the only name. Where is the list? Right here.
Go ahead. There we go. Tony Simotis, Biff Gowry, and Beth Marshall.
Well, that's three different, okay.
Good morning. My name is Tony Simotis, and I currently work with Mad Cow Theater. Formerly, though, I'm a founding member and artistic director of Shakespeare and Company in Massachusetts, the Berkshires. I happen to be one of the artists that Mad Cow owed money to, and I was not happy about that. I only came back to work with Mad Cow, and I will say in deference to the gentleman who stood here before me, that there is a difference now in this theater. I would not have come on board if I didn't believe that we were actively trying to make things better, and what I will call Mad Cow Theater 2.0. I believe that the new administration, along with Dr. Julius John, will be exactly the right thing to move this theater forward, in spite of all the past troubles that the company has had. And I was a part of that. I have been made current, and I know that we will continue to make current all those of the past. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Biff Godfrey. I've been a loyal patron of Mad Cow Theater for over 20 years. And one of the reasons that I came up here this morning is that there's been a lot of improper, and I would say malicious information being spread by a group of bullies here in the Orlando area. And I'm afraid that they've probably spread some of that to you through either social media or the email. The people have these, I'll call them bullies, these bullies have been threatening our artists and our employees on the basis of using email, direct email, and using social media. This is really a horrible situation that has occurred. Most of these people that have been backing the CFEA have never worked for Mad Cow, or if they did work for Mad Cow, it's probably been at least 15 years ago. Please don't take it, don't take their word as something to be believed.
Morning panel, thank you for your time. I'm Chris Foster, professor of economics at Valencia College and a local resident with a strong interest in the performing arts community. I'm asking that Mad Cow Theater not be funded with this grant. Mitzi Maxwell and her board members, who refused to terminate her, have lost the respect of the great community we have around here and do not reflect the values of Florida, Orange County, nor Orlando. Continuing history of financial and other mismanagement, along with a clear lack of dedication to the principles of equity, diversity, has led to a boycott of the theater by artists and patrons and donors. This boycott will greatly hinder the company's ability to bring business to downtown. There are many organizations applying to this grant pool who would be better investments to further the goals of this panel. Looking over the cultural tourism funding guidelines, the mission is to elevate the status of Central Florida's arts and culture to that befitting a world-class community. Mad Cow Theater does not rise to the standard. One of the objectives, enhance the Orlando area's arts and cultural identity. The turnout today shows that Mad Cow does not do this. Promoting tourism, the active boycott prevents that.
Beth Marshall, Lisa Castaneda, Terry Kroger.
I'm reading on behalf of multiple organizations that cannot be here. First, Black Theater Girl Magic, which partnered with Mad Cow Theater directly and is represented most likely in this grant that you have before you. This is their statement and should be timed for them. It is with deep regret that we are unable to attend today's meeting. This is to the organizers of this grant. We would be remiss if we didn't call out the Orange County Division of Arts and Cultural Affairs for requiring in-person panels with no remote options. It's not only ableist, but it props to classist inequities that keep theater and nonprofit endeavors largely populated with wealthy white people. Working class individuals are not able to speak for themselves at today's meeting because they are working. Despite this, we feel that it is the utmost importance to speak with our experience that recently happened this year with Mad Cow Theater under the direction of Mitzi Maxwell. There is nothing that says 1 minute in the guidelines. We were not allowed to send any letters. The point is, the Theater Sparks program mentioned is not, they do not approve of it, and they will not work with Mad Cow Theater. This represents over 60 black women that are artists currently.
Lisa Castaneda, Tara Comer, and Paul Castaneda.
Get Elena and Teresa. Elena and David.
Hi, I'm Lisa Castaneda. I'm a performer here for 30 years in the Central Florida area. I have worked at Mad Cow in 2019, very recently, and was paid late. I am a Hispanic woman as well, and I am going to speak on behalf of my colleague, Eliana Stratico. She's an actress, theater director, and educator, former director of Teatro Espanol program at Mad Cow from 2014 to 2019. She was consistently paid late as every actor and stage manager participating in the Teatro Espanol production. In the TE productions, actors performed wearing their own clothes and shoes and later some recycled costumes from past shows. TE productions never had costumes or light designers like the other productions at Mad Cow. TE productions never had professional photo shoots for promotions like other productions at Mad Cow. She was consistently denied props and scenery due to budget problems. She was consistently asked to adapt plays to a reduced cast. In 2019, she decided to cancel the program because of these conditions and because she was ashamed of the late payments, even when she was one more victim. She presented 2 dramatic readings and 1 full production. Later in 2019, she found out that Mad Cow received $20,000 annually to run Teatro Espanol program. I have other people to read.
Yeah.
You're not interested in David Lee, a leader in this community, or Teresa Smith-Levin, a leader in this community? Noted.
Tara Comer, Paul Castaneda, Louis Jones.
Hello, I'm one of the many artists who have actually
Forget what you're saying.
experienced
Say all the
delays
names.
in payment and mismanagement of the Mad Cow Theater, and I wanted to be here today to be in solidarity with my fellow artists in this community who have overwhelmingly spoken out against the practices of Mitzi Maxwell in her leadership position there. Under governance, the board is not up to date, and Ms. Maxwell's term is listed as having ended in June. Under management, there's also inaccurate info, specifically the claim of a 100% staff retention rate despite multiple recent resignations. So while the review stamp is current, the profile itself is not. Narrative section 2, quality, reputation, feedback. Give evidence of your organization's high reputation. Multiple news articles and social media posts have argued against a high score in this area. In section 8, okay, thank you.
Good morning, thank you for having me here. My name is Paul Castaneda, I'm a local theater producer director. I want to make note of the fact that we have statements from over 750 different people, artists in this community, who will not be read into the record today. We're not allowed to email, and now we're being timed at 1 minute. I just want to say this is all predictable. Mad Cow has a long history of hurting artists. Okay, this isn't MadCal version 2.0, it's version 25.0 at this point, okay? And they also disrespect and have problematic treatment with the BIPOC community, culminating in asking for a moderator for the moderator in CFEA. And it was predictable that they would name another artistic director here to move the chairs on the Titanic. And just like Ms. Stratico, I'm afraid that Dr. John will eventually find out that this is all a game of three-card Monte. What I say to you is this: I want MadCal to answer 2 questions and then I'll shut up for good. Can you please tell me the last time that you had 3 shows that you paid on time? And can you please tell me another organization that has the financial record that they do and keeps their executive director in place? Anything else but her leaving is putting lipstick on a mad cow.
Make sure.
Hi, thank you for listening to me. My name is Blue Estrella. I'm stage manager here in the Orlando area. I personally worked with MadCal. I did 5 shows there. Being warned every time by friends saying don't work there, they're not going to pay you on time. I didn't listen. I continued on there. I did 5 shows. Each show I was paid late to the point where I had to text Mitzi personally to be able to get paid. During Pounds of the Festival, which is the recent show, like several others, we did not all get paid. My lighting operator didn't get paid. My ASM hadn't gotten paid. I refused to do the final show, the matinee, until I was paid in full and my tax payment, because we need to pay bills. So that's how it is. And then one of our actors too decided not to take the stage until we were all paid, and we all solidated and we all got paid that day. But this is a constant continued thing with MadCal. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Anthony Pike Jr. I'm an actor representing Orange County. I am coming here representing the next generation, the younger generation of actors. I have good relationships and love for people who presently work for the theater and are presently in opposition of what I'm speaking on today. So for the record, noting on previous comments here, I'm not here for their theater space. I'm not here with some past grudge. This is something that has recently happened again after coming back to the theater and offering to give them another opportunity. When asking for my payment at a certain time, at a certain date, like they're offering me, they were very confused as to why it felt like gaslighting, which had me have to ask them, yes, because you've had a history of this in the past. They presented to me their theater policy in an italics paragraph that said payment is based on projected availability. Their actual words was, the theater will try our hardest to pay you, and if we don't, we will pay you within 90 days after the show closing. I told them that didn't work for my contract, and it would need to be removed in order to sign my contract, which they did. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Alvin. I'm an actor in Orange County, and I stand in solidarity with CFEA. The mission of CFEA is not only to promote a more equitable, diverse, and inclusive arts and entertainment community in Central Florida, but also to ensure that workplaces for marginalized people are healthy and safe. MadCal's long-standing issues prove to ignore our community's call for greater inclusivity while perpetuating the existence of an unsafe workplace. Artists should never have to stand up for what is right. Artists should never have to fear about going unpaid for their labor. Artists should never have to fear being taken advantage of, misrepresented, or discredited for their work. This community is worthy and deserves better. CFEA attempted to, on several occasions, to meet with MadCal leadership to discuss the problematic areas of their structure and work towards a viable solution. Those attempts were opposed and were met with resistance. CFEA then issued initiatives based on the concerns raised by our community that would help MadCal regain a favorable, just, and trustworthy position in our area. Those initiatives have been also met with opposition and resistance. This is not satisfactory behavior on the part of an organization that asks to be held accountable. Accountability is neither comfortable nor is it on our own terms. MadCal has been and continues to be insistent upon dictating how the community holds it accountable while continuing to make moves in direct contradiction. This organization is both fiscally and racially irresponsible and not deserving of any funding dedicated to upstanding arts institutions in the community. The arts are a vital part of the Central Florida community, particularly Orange County.
Clark Libby, CEO of my property.
Narrative section 4, question 8A, describe the composition and strengths of your board and project team. I do not have all details, but there has been significant turnover in recent weeks and board size and participation are questionable. If you choose to address this in the question period, be aware that at least one staff loss was mischaracterized by the board president on the call with the state grant panel. The characterization was immediately refuted by the former staff member. Select comments from those panelists. Teresa Davis, Executive Director, Theater Tallahassee. But the board member made me realize that the governance of Mad Cow was apparently an issue also, and that needed changes would not be made under current governance. Jerome Shannon, Artistic Director, Principal Conductor, Pensacola Opera. For an organization that is 26 years in existence, I find your programming goals more aligned with an organization that is just beginning. These goals are so general in nature that they could be applied to any organization, but not one that already has a quarter-century history of existence. Final paragraph of 2020 audit. The entity has suffered recurring losses from operations and has stated that substantial doubt exists about its ability to continue as a going concern. My name is Mark Levi, I'm a local artist, and I genuinely fear what the future looks like with Mad Cow having as much power as they currently do, with Mixie Maxwell having as much power as she currently does, and the board having as much power as it currently does. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Steele Mycroft. I am an actor, theater patron, and UCF student based in Seminole County. I stand in solidarity with CFEA for the boycott and defunding of Mad Cow Theater and the current leadership of Mitzi Maxwell and her board. I am here today as one of many young artists within this up-and-coming generation who refuse to learn the hard way, who refuse to become another one of the stories of neglect, mistreatment, gaslighting, and disrespect at the hands of Mad Cow Theater. I'd also like to list a name, read a list of names who stand in solidarity as well. Catherine Herman from Philadelphia, who is a former PSM for Mad Cow and will not return to the theater as an artist or patron. Alexander from Orlando, who is an equity actor who received payment for 2 shows they did 2 years after completing them. Elsie Holt from Lakeland, who did costumes for production and received payment 2 years after the completion of the production. Matthew Schwartz, who was a part of production in the summer of 2010 and only eventually was paid in 2012 after calls and numerous back and forth emails with 2 different contacts. Amber Hans, who was a former Mad Cow actor and victim of late pay and having to ask repeatedly for that payment. Sarah Jones, who was from Orlando and Maine, who is an actor and singer who stands in solidarity.
Emerson and then Michael Watson.
Hello, my name is Emerson Short, a student of theater at Daytona State College residing in Seminole County. Myself and the young emerging artists have grown up doing theater on stages such as Orlando Rep, Orlando Shakes, at the Fringe Festival, Penguin Point, and with Beth Marshall Presents, and at the Garden Theater. Together, we all vow to not learn the hard way from many of our mentors and older fellow artists and community members. We all see that the community trust is no longer there at Mad Cow Theater and are asking the esteemed panel to not fund the theater due to the mistreatment of artists. I'd also like to point out the comment of Orlando not having culture is completely false because we are built on culture alone. Neither ourselves nor our parents will be supporting Mad Cow Theater, and the names follow: Laura Wallace, Sarah Isola, Rowan Sam, Iceland Grayson, Thomas Lightsley, Diana Victoria, Joshua Huff, Katie Fallon, Jasmine Whitten, Braxton Barr, Jackson Chase, Alondra Trinidad Colon, Finley Hayden, Ambria Benjamin, Amelie Jamie, and Gabriel Neal Barnard. We will not be supporting Mad Cow Theater, and we are the future of theater.
Yeah. I think that's all the public comment.
There's
700
much.
Once again, for people who are just joining us, I'd like to welcome you